welcome to the virtual 2021 Phillipsburg Annual Awards and Healthcare Update. My name is Liana Marte and I am one of your Phillipsburg Chamber representatives. Now we'd like to introduce some of our amazing sponsors who helped us put on this event.
First up, we have our presenting sponsor, St. Luke's Warren Campus. Thank you so much to Scott and Marissa.
The Warren campus has been a vital part of the greater Phillipsburg and Warren County community for 100 years.
Warren campus became part of St. Luke's University Health Network in February 2012. And since that time, we've added a lot of new services here. We have a brand new ED, we have a brand new ICU and an infusion center, and we have a brand new state-of-the-art cardiac cath lab, as well as an interventional radiology suite, the most state-of-the-art across the entire network. We also have brought in brand new specialists that we've never seen on the campus before, including bariatric surgery and gynecologic oncology.
The Warren campus has been here for a century, and we're really proud of that. You know, serving our community here, having that opportunity is really fantastic.
I've worked with St. Luke's Warren campus for multiple years through different jobs throughout the county. This is one of our two primary hospitals that we do transport people to. All the nurses are right there as soon as you walk in. The doctors are always willing to listen and ask questions. All of my EMTs of my organization absolutely love that about St. Luke's Warren.
Back in 2005, my husband had a heart attack, and he was brought here, and I couldn't say enough good things about the kindness, the service, and that's why I came back here to volunteer once I retired. Everyone is so friendly and helpful, and it's just a nice place to volunteer.
I think because it's a relatively small community hospital, it gives a lot of attention to detail. And so when we treat our patients, we feel that we're able to give them just a very nice amount of attention, and the patient really feels that.
We've spent a good amount of investment in the facilities here, in developing satellite campuses, in adding specialties and programs that weren't here prior to Warren Hospital joining St. Luke's University Health Network. So there were a myriad of things that we did.
One of the things that we're really proud of is our advanced ICU care. When COVID hit, one of the first therapies we use for our patients is called proning, and that's when the patient is put on their stomachs. And you have to have a special bed to do that because most of these patients are intubated, they have tubes and catheters and IV lines, and it's really complicated. But we're able to do the proning here, which in the very first stages of COVID has been shown to really help these patients.
We also opened up new Care Now centers, which are our urgent care centers. Along with those Care Now facilities, we have ancillary services, physical therapy, and specialty physician service rotations at each of those sites. They can now get those services closer to where they live and not even come to our main campus for those services.
I feel very fortunate to have quite a bit of involvement in our community. It started really with my involvement with the high schools, taking care of various sports teams. We were able to recently extend that to being more of an academic experience for the kids, to be able to help them to learn some anatomy. It's a really great opportunity to have them get their hands on the cadaver, to be able to learn dissection, to be able to learn what the anatomy looks like. It's just been a great experience for me as a teacher, and it really seems like it's been a wonderful experience for the students to be able to get this very unique exposure to a fairly complex topic.
From a medical perspective, we're the largest medical provider in Warren County, and we believe that the more services that we can produce for this county, the more we can address their issues here and not require them being shipped elsewhere for that care. We think that what St. Luke's has grown into and what we can grow into going into the future in New Jersey, and through our relationship with RWJ Barnabas, we're going to be even more of a solution for the community. They need to have confidence in the caregivers who they live by.
I started here in 1998. I thought I'd be here for a year or two, and I actually fell in love with the community, with the staff. Most of our staff in my department have been here as long as I've been here, which is a testament to this hospital. It's a very family-oriented hospital. We take care of our patients, take care of their families, something that the patients really treasure when they come to our campus.
And also one of our award recipients for tonight's event, and our state liner sponsor, Unity Bank. Thank you to Susan and team.
Hey Jim, can you move that orange Mustang over there?
You got it, Peter.
No, the Mustang.
I may not be the best lot attendant, but I'm great at one thing, helping small businesses grow. Call me at Unity Bank. I'll work for you.
Unity Bank, growing with you.
And our gold premier sponsor, Golden Pepper Productions. Thank you to Paul for the awesome videos you're about to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver the healthcare update, please welcome President and CEO of St. Luke's Warren Campus, Scott Wolfe.
Hello, everyone. I'm Scott Wolfe. I'm the president of the St. Luke's University Health Network Warren Campus. I've been here for just over 9 years now, about the same time that Warren Hospital has been part of St. Luke's University Health Network. I want to talk with you a little bit about the state of the pandemic, since that has pretty much dominated the headlines recently and affected everybody from a health status perspective or a livelihood perspective. Hard to avoid the significant impact that that pandemic has had on us. If I would summarize by saying anything about the pandemic, I would say it has helped us to refocus on the importance of assuring public health and public safety every day going forward. We're very good as healthcare institutions in taking care of your needs when you come to us as a result of an accident or an injury or to take care of chronic illnesses. And I think that this pandemic has allowed us to refocus on those issues that can arise that may not be a total surprise, but are unexpected in terms of the impact that they can have or the contagiousness that they can have on a community. Fortunately, we are seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. We are seeing less hospitalizations, lower infection rates. We've used some very innovative techniques and clinical protocols to have patients avoid hospitalization if they are testing positive for COVID-19. We've done a pretty good job of practicing safe practices in our communities. And now some of those requirements are being lifted in recognition of the easing up of the spread of the virus on our communities. I'll remind all of us that we need to remain vigilant in following the CDC guidelines as best that we can and continuing to stay abreast of the status of the virus, because its many mutations around the world ultimately can and do have an effect on us. So the virus hasn't gone away. We're expecting it'll be with us for the foreseeable future. But I do think that we are much better prepared as a healthcare industry to help folks avoid becoming very sick if they do contract the virus or to avoid contracting the virus at all. At St. Luke's, we're very proud that we've been first in the region or been part of the group leading efforts to develop leading clinical protocols, developing our own methods, adopting best practice methods to make sure that we were in as safe a manner as possible for our staff and for patients to take care of these patients, so that on almost all of our campuses, and certainly the Warren campus among them, greater than 95, closer to 97% of patients who were admitted for COVID-19 infection were able to receive all the care they needed at the campus located in their community. And that was certainly true at Warren Hospital, where 97% of those patients who were admitted for care were successfully treated in this community and returned home. We are proud to announce that nearly 90% of our employed workforce are vaccinated, fully vaccinated, to protect against the COVID-19 virus. And we continue to lead efforts in the communities that we serve to assure that anyone who has not been vaccinated understands the importance of becoming vaccinated and knows that through the walk-in clinics that we now offer, or even greater access that we'll offer in the near future in our physician offices to vaccinations, will allow them to quickly become vaccinated if they have heretofore been reticent to do so and have now changed their minds. It still makes sense if you haven't been vaccinated to get vaccinated. This is one of the most effective vaccines ever developed in the history of mankind. And the protective measures that we've taken as a community, such as masking, have really shown an impact in almost completely eliminating the onset of the traditional flu season throughout our entire network. So while it may be uncomfortable to wear masks, the benefit of wearing them, the benefit of maintaining distance through the majority of the time of the pandemic has proven to help get us to this point where we are seeing less spread of the disease and an ability to return to a new normalcy that we haven't seen in 15 months. We're happy to have played the role that we did in our community. We feel like through our partnership with the Warren County Department of Health, we have together been able to truly raise the bar on public health and specifically in addressing the challenges brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. There have been many silver linings of the pandemic as we fight through the significant loss that almost all of us have felt personally, directly or indirectly, whether that is loss of a loved one, significant deterioration in health status of a loved one, negative impact on livelihood, but there have been silver linings. And one of them has been our ability to convince the public that hospitals are really a safe place to be. And it is safe once again to come back for the care that you shouldn't be avoiding. And so the silver lining among many that we have noticed at St. Luke's is that our culture of fixing problems when they arise, of exceeding the expectations of our patients every time we have the opportunity to do so, has been enhanced through the challenges brought on by the pandemic. How do we know that? Well, we are measured by many different organizations, and we're proud throughout the network, and specifically I'll speak to the Warren campus, at once again being named by CMS as a 5-star hospital in terms of overall patient safety ratings. The Leapfrog Group, which is a national group that uses a number of different indicators to rate the safety and the effectiveness of hospitals, has rated us in the highest category as an A-rated hospital. And amongst the A-rated hospitals, we're top performing. Again, we're very proud when you put those two designations together with being 5-star, it puts us in rarefied air in this region and amongst our network, who also shares many of those designations. We also continue to address the needs of a very sick population. And we're glad to see that they're coming back for care. So the demand for our services is approaching what it had been, and in some cases, and in some services, actually is greater than it had been prior to the pandemic. That's a good sign that people feel more comfortable coming back to an environment that we can assure is a safe environment for them to come into. So our commitment to your community is to make sure that we continue to shine, make sure that we continue to collaborate with key stakeholders in the community, such as the Warren County Department of Health and the county at large. Take advantage of the strategic affiliation that we have with Robert Wood Johnson Barnabas Health to make sure, as that affiliation envisions, that we continue to identify where we can reduce care gaps in Northwest New Jersey. They do exist. Those in Northwest New Jersey travel 2 to 3 times further for care than those of their peers who live just across the border in Pennsylvania. So together, our two organizations are going to look at how we can reduce those care gaps. So there's a lot of exciting things on the horizon for St. Luke's and for Warren Hospital. And we believe that spells excitement for the community, because the strength of our hospital and our system means that our community is stronger as well. And we're happy to serve you going into the future. How much longer into the future? Well, we've been around for 100 years. This year is our 100-year anniversary, and we're looking forward to at least 100 more. So stay tuned. More good things to come from St. Luke's Warren campus. Thanks, all of you.
Hi, my name is Ed Bullock, and I'm a longtime member of the Board of Directors of the Phillipsburg Area Chamber of Commerce. I own a financial planning business, Bullock Financial Services, at 324 South Main Street in Phillipsburg. And I'm here today to talk about a person who is getting an award who is very, very deserving of this award, and that is Kelly Post-Sheedy. In Kelly's role, you need a quality leader. And Kelly is a great role model and a very organized leader. She's very professional, she's very warm, and she's very welcoming to everyone who sets foot in the Firth Youth Center. She cares greatly about the children and every other individual who enters the Firth Youth Center and takes part in all of the activities. I've had the pleasure of knowing her for quite a while, and she's certainly a gift to the Firth Youth Center and to the town of Phillipsburg. So I am very proud to present the Humanitarian Award to Kelly Post-Sheedy.
The Firth Youth Center is like nothing else. So many people from outside of town that come here for different athletic competitions, they say, oh my gosh, I wish we had one of these in our town. And we're just so blessed to have it here in Phillipsburg. We have a lot of kids who need services. We have a lot of families who depend on us. And we're here to help our families thrive and overcome adversity, and our kids to get opportunities that they wouldn't have otherwise have access to. We went from 5, 6, or 7 days a week of full programming, probably over 150 kids in the building, filling up the Firth, to literally everything being at a standstill on March 13th. And we didn't know what we needed to do, but we knew that we needed to help, and we needed to find ways to help serve the families who were in need. And so after meeting with my staff and talking with some parents and seeing where we could help best, we completely transformed. And we went from having a building full of kids to having curbside services 5 days a week. Being a part of the Phillipsburg community has always been something that's been instilled in me. From a young age, my parents always volunteered here in Phillipsburg on different boards and organizations for festivals and for athletic associations. And so it was just second nature that you have to be part of your community. We only get one life, and we're here to make an impact.
Good evening. I'm Helene Meissner, Director of the West Cap Food Bank and a proud member of the Phillipsburg Area Chamber of Commerce for more than 20 years. The Pride of Phillipsburg Award is presented to a Phillipsburg business or resident that constantly strives to make Phillipsburg a better place to live, work, and play. This business or individual demonstrates a passion and commitment to the downtown and is a staple in our community. May 1st, 2004, something very exciting happened in Phillipsburg. It was the maiden voyage of the Delaware River Railroad excursion. It was a scenic steam train ride along the Delaware River. 17 years later, a lot of exciting things are still happening. The steam train excursion has expanded. There is now a mine train, a wine train, a corn maze, a pumpkin train, a dinosaur train, Thomas the Tank Engine, and the Polar Express, to name just a few. Why? Because of the dedication of a wonderful group of people, the New York and Susquehanna Western and Technical Historical Society. These generous, train-loving folks come to Phillipsburg every single weekend to make sure that these train rides take place. One person in particular has thrown his heart and his soul and his resources into making the train excursion what it is today. When the Delaware River Railroad excursion first started, he and his partner promised that they would bring tens of thousands of people to Phillipsburg. They have done that tenfold, and it wasn't always easy. There were train and track maintenance issues. There were scorching hot summer days during Thomas the Tank Engine and freezing cold winter nights during the Polar Express. And then, of course, there was last year when they were hardly able to run the trains at all. Enough said about that. If you have ridden the train, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure you did. But if you haven't ridden the train, you should really put it on your to-do list. Summer is just starting, and there will be so many beautiful Saturday and Sunday afternoons for you to enjoy this gem of a tourist excursion with your families. The train rides have put Phillipsburg on the map. So for that reason and so many others, it is my privilege and my honor to present the Chamber's 2021 Pride in Phillipsburg Award to someone who started out as a business acquaintance and happily is now a great friend, Mr. Chris Cotting.
We had been operating trains since 1989, 1990, somewhere around there, and we were running on the New York Susquehanna and Western Railway. But after 9/11, that was no longer possible. I came down here, I looked at Phillipsburg, I said, wow, this is going to take a lot of work, you know? And the first year we had, I think, about 25,000 passengers. Over 80% of our customers are Northeast New Jersey, New York City, Long Island, and there are people that want to come to the country and come see Phillipsburg, and they're enchanted by this beautiful downtown that looks like, South Main Street looks like something Disney would have put together. The idea is, so the tourist operation starts by our ticket booth, of course, where everyone goes to get their tickets, and so we have to blossom from there and spread it throughout the town. I want downtown Phillipsburg to look like New Hope, with all little stores with all interesting things in between food and gadgets and whatever, you know, you never know. Antiques, collectibles, very eclectic. And it can be that. I mean, the downtown South Main Street looks amazing. I mean, if you went to Disney and said, hey, build me this downtown street, you know, and it would look like that.
Good evening, my name is Mary Jo Harris. I am the Community Development Manager for Norwest Cap. The Entrepreneurial Spirit Award honors individuals and businesses for their leadership in the community and their personal hands-on involvement in bettering their businesses as well as the surrounding community. These are individuals and businesses that have distinguished themselves as having excelled in their field and are models for others to emulate for their leadership. It is my honor and my pleasure to be able to introduce to you Warren Smith, owner and operator of Driven Skate and Print Shop. He opened his business in Phillipsburg on South Main Street in January 2020, and then of course we all know what happened in 2020. But this did not deter his determination and spirit and looking forward to reopening. But that would not be for a couple more months. We all know what happened, of course, the whole 2020. Not only did the pandemic throw a monkey wrench into Warren's plans for Driven, he was then faced with what seemed to be a never-ending battle of issues with the building. A leaky roof, not just a leaky roof, but it literally poured buckets into his store. And it also managed to have sewage back up in his basement. So he was faced with losing over $300,000 worth of merchandise and equipment. And this loss meant that he could not run his business. Even with all that, Warren still managed to hold what's called a ride-out bike event for the youth in Phillipsburg, where over 40 kids came out and participated. Warren has also given the youth of Phillipsburg jobs, encouraging them to do better, be better. He believed in them, respected them, and he was honest with them. With so much of his business impacted from this pandemic and all the building issues, Warren's spirit got him through that, because with Warren, he never gives up, he never gives in, and he believes it can be done. So I am honored and proud to call him my friend and have him receive this year's Entrepreneurial Spirit Award.
I was riding past, I saw the building, I loved it, it was amazing. I came, I looked in the windows, I looked inside, and I'm like, oh, this is the perfect location. Came into the space, I set up, I loved everything. I put my machines all the way in the back. I had more machines in the basement, like my bigger production machines were in the basement. I want to say maybe like a couple months in, worst nightmare of my life. The roof came in the back. So not one time, but probably over the first 3 months, it had to rain in here like 7 or 8 times. All my equipment get wet, my computers, my machinery, everything. So this went from like a dream come true to the worst nightmare of my life. I pretty much did what I normally do. I took the clothes, put them in the trunk of my car, started selling them. You know, I'm making money. So all the money I make, I will go and buy machine by machine by machine by machine and focus on my brand, which now it actually put me in a way better situation. You know, a whole year later, we're in about 25 stores nationwide. You know, I have multiple locations of my own.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bob Kruznick. I've been a member of the Phillipsburg Chamber of Commerce for 20 years, and it's my great privilege to have nominated Corey Sullivan for the Patriotism Award here at Phillipsburg. I'm a Phillipsburg native, class of '69, and I was away from home for 12 years. And the best thing my wife and I ever did was move back home, because you don't appreciate what you have here unless you see it with fresh eyes. And when I found out Corey was doing the Hometown Heroes project, I was very thrilled. I had been a lot in the coal region and seeing 4 towns in the coal region who had recognized their veterans, and I always had hoped that one day Phillipsburg would follow on that. And I got my father's picture up on South Main Street. He grew up on South Main Street. I grew up on South Main Street, and he fought in the Battle of the Bulge in World War II. And so this was just like a dream come true, that someone who would care enough to recognize the men and women who served the country. And so I hope the evening goes well for everyone, and good luck.
I was actually on vacation with my parents. We camp out by Cabela's in Charlottesville, Pennsylvania, and Hamburg is a close town to them, and they have those banners. They have the Hometown Heroes banners around there. So I called out there and got some information, what I needed, and where I could start. I thought it would bring a lot of morale for the town, bring all the veterans together, and the families that people have served, the people that have served. It would just bring a lot of morale to town. I know Phillipsburg's trying to amp up downtown, so I just thought it would be a nice thing during the summer months. People could drive by and see their significant other or their siblings up on a pole in Phillipsburg. I would like to see it thrive like it did back in the 70s and 80s. There was businesses everywhere. There was places to shop. There was places to eat. There was stuff to see. And I would just like to see Phillipsburg go back to that. A lot of the veterans that are up on the banners, they have passed. So I thought it was a good thing. I'm alive, and everybody wanted to see me when I came home for a couple weeks. And now these people get to see their family members every day.
Hi, I'm Mayor Todd Tersigny, Mayor of Phillipsburg, New Jersey. Today I'm going to recognize a business that has demonstrated outstanding commitment to Phillipsburg through acts of generosity and kindness. They sponsor Phillipsburg Summer Concert Series, the Old Town Festival, which is right around the corner, cocktail trails, our pork roll palooza, tree lighting, and the Santa visit. It's my honor and pleasure to present this year's the Corporate Partner of the Year Award to Unity Bank. Congratulations, and we are thankful to have you in our community.
Unity Bank has 19 branches. Our headquarters is in Clinton, New Jersey. We are a community bank. And with that, we want our community to know that we support them and we support Phillipsburg and any other, town that we are in or city that we are in. We support them. We volunteer for numerous of the nonprofits, Firth Youth Center. We give back to food banks in our area every year. We support the chamber and the town with the summer concert series down at Chappelle Park. We also have our balloon, Unity Bank. A lot of people don't know that Unity Bank has a hot air balloon, and we try to get that out as often as possible. So we are at the Old Town Festival every year, and we support that every year. Pork Roll Palooza, the tree lighting. We are Unity Bank, I have to say, is at almost every event in Phillipsburg and supporting the community. I want Phillipsburg to become what they want to become. And by that I mean grow their business, especially the small businesses. Yes, the big corporations are coming to town, and that is phenomenal, but the small businesses as well. And that's kind of where, that's kind of our niche, is with the small businesses. We help them grow, and we take a lot of pride in doing that.
The Michelle Brubelo Chamber Award of Excellence recognizes a person or group whose services go beyond normal responsibilities, creating a lasting and beneficial impact for all residents. We have a group of people who do that every single day. There's an old saying, out of sight, out of mind, but that does not apply to this group. They are behind the scenes doing all kinds of nasty jobs. Collecting garbage, street sweeping, lawn and tree maintenance, hanging holiday decorations, and preparing the parks for community events, to name just a few. No matter what you ask them to do, they are ready, willing, and able. I know whenever I call Steve Davis, he answers on the first ring. Now maybe that's because he's afraid of me, but I'd like to think that it's because he's just anxious to do a good job. And so is the rest of his crew. It was really fun to watch them last year have a friendly competition between the yellow team and the blue team. They are all so good-natured and so helpful, they are so very deserving of this award. It is named after a person who worked harder for the town of Phillipsburg than anyone I know, someone who I was privileged to work with for several years. So I am proud to be able to present the Michelle Brubelo Award of Excellence to our Phillipsburg Department of Public Works.
We maintain the town's infrastructure. We maintain its buildings, its roads, and police the garbage and all the town-owned properties, from grass to maintaining buildings themselves. You wake up in the morning, you get your shower, you plan on doing this, you come to work, you receive a phone call, or there's a message or something that happened, you don't know what's gonna happen. Every day is something that, you have your regular set out plans. Of course we have a schedule for garbage that we have to do, but beyond that, you just don't know what's gonna happen.
And I think we get recognized a lot. People appreciate what we do. We still got people that don't, but they think this should be done, that should be done, but sometimes it's hard to do, It's nice that people recognize stuff that we do.
My phone's on, it rings all types of hours, yeah. Yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen. Could be an accident, a light pole falls down, It could be something that the cops need barricades here because there was something, the road has to be closed or a sinkhole. You don't know. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Due to unprecedented circumstances, we were unable to host last year's annual awards event. So we wanted to take a moment to recognize our 2020 Citizen of the Year, Jackie Fry. Jackie was an integral part of our Phillipsburg Chamber Board for 25 years and retired this past year from her 15-year run as CEO and president of ERCO Federal Credit Union. Thank you, Jackie, for all that you did for the Phillipsburg community. You left a lasting impact, and we are thankful for all that you helped to accomplish through your many years of service. We hope you are enjoying retirement.
Hi, good evening. My name is Diana Shapani. I've been with the Chamber for 6 years. I am currently the Chamber Chair of the Phillipsburg Area Chamber. I am employed by Flood Agency in Phillipsburg area. I am a commercial lines representative. I have the honor of presenting the 2021 Citizen of the Year Award to Ed Bullock. The award is presented to a Phillipsburg citizen that endlessly demonstrates their passion, commitment, and dedication to the Phillipsburg community through specialized opportunities and programs. This individual shows their passion for making the community a better place through his investments and resource and time. Ed Bullock always dedicates his time. He MCs for the Old Town Festival every year. He also does the summer concert series in Chappelle Park. He graciously opens his office to the chamber during the tree lighting, which he provides us drinks with treats for all of us, and is always willing to dedicate his time. Thank you for always being the first to volunteer. Your dedication to the community and the chamber are very much appreciated.
Being part of the Phillipsburg community allows me to contribute to my community in different ways. It allows me to mingle with people who become my friends and enjoy the community events that I'm involved in. Well, I started my business in Phillipsburg because my family has been here since my great-great-grandparents. This is where I grew up. These are the people that I know, friends, business associates, colleagues. And so I felt most comfortable doing business among the people that I know most. My personal feeling is to always make an effort to give before I receive. So being involved in the community here and doing those things gives me a good feeling that I'm giving something back to my community, as opposed to just doing business here and having an attitude of receiving.
Thanks for tuning in this evening. Congratulations to all our award recipients. Look forward to seeing you all in person next year.